And today we just want to tell you the story, just I guess, of God's faithfulness and our journey for us. So many of you might not know our full story. It'll be about 8.5 or 7.5 years ago. We were expecting another baby boy, but sadly we lost him in the second trimester just before the 20 weeks. So we gave birth to him. We called him Malachi, which means my messenger, my angel. And obviously it was very devastating for us and quite a hard journey to go through. But God really held us in that journey and gave us lots of promises. It would have been a few weeks after we lost him. We were at church and a lady was visiting from Australia and she had quite a prophetic anointing. So she didn't know what had happened to us, and she came up to me and said that God's going to give me a son and he's going to restore to me things that were lost. But she didn't actually know that we'd lost a son, and she said he was going to be a mighty man for God. And so Israel actually means Prince of God. So I was thinking, oh, she's talking about Israel. We just lost a boy. She obviously doesn't know what she's going. And I kind of gave up on that prophetic word. But after that we had quite a few other prophetic words that God was going to give us a son. We actually shortly fell pregnant with Adeline. We had a girl, and that brought a lot of healing just to hold her. And then we had another girl, Indy, and I was like, okay. And I still felt in my heart that I knew I was going to have a baby boy. And then we fell pregnant again after Indy, but sadly the same thing happened that had Malachi in the second trimester. We lost a baby boy and we called him Micah. So that, I guess, for me was just devastating. I was like, those words that were spoken over me weren't true. We had another word just before I lost him. Michael's mum actually said that she had a vision of 2 boys playing in our front yard. And I kind of put those to the side and was like, God, they're not true. They weren't for me. And I think the second time hit me more than the first time. I was really devastated. We actually went through a lot of anger and a lot of hurt, and it was quite a journey for a year afterwards that I went on, full of different emotions. But I then in the end I said to Michael, I'm not having any more kids, that's it. Even though in my heart I knew that I still had a desire to have another son. I still knew we were meant to have another son. And then in the middle of another shocking news, when we found out my mum was terminal cancer, that same week we found out we're pregnant again, which was just a total shock to Michael and I. We weren't expecting that, especially not under the circumstance. And once again with that came a lot of fear for me. Was I going to carry this baby full term? Was I going to go through that pain and anguish again of losing another baby? And I thought to myself, I just couldn't go through that loss again without my mum by my side helping me through that. And I would have only been about 6-7 weeks pregnant. And I was just praying to God, like, please, like, don't let this happen to me again. Can you give me some reassurance? And I heard the word Maximus, and a lot of people are asking, what with the middle name Maximus? Like, where do we get that from? And when I heard this word, I was like, what does that mean? So I went straight and looked up the Hebrew meaning of Maximus, and it means God is a miracle maker. And that gave me a lot of peace, and I kind of clung to that. I was like, that's a word for me that he gave me, that God is a miracle maker. And for me, it was actually the whole time, it felt so surreal that I was pregnant again. And we found out, they scanned me regularly, actually go through a lot of checks, obviously with the loss of the other 2. And then we found out it was a boy, and it was just so surreal. I still couldn't really take it in or believe that I was having a baby again, and especially that it was a boy. It was just still too hard to fathom. Even I think I said to Michael, even the week before having him, I said to Michael, it still feels so unreal that this dream is coming true, that this heart desire that I had is coming alive. And God had reassured us right the way through, and I look back on those prophecies now that were given to me, and I see that they have been fulfilled, that he is faithful. Even when we go through trials and tribulations and heartache and pain, I actually did decide through that whole time, I turned to worship, and I decided that I would worship him. And it did give me a sense of peace through that whole journey. But then right to the end, and now I'm getting to hold my baby boy. And Ezekiel means God strengthens. So our names have been very tactile, that I know that God's going to strengthen him, and I don't need to carry that burden or that weight, and that God is a miracle maker, because he is a miracle. And he's just been such a wee delight. He's awake right now. So I just want to give you hope today and encourage you that no matter what you're going through, but what I found that helped pull me through was the worship, is that there's a song for every season, and it's like a memory stone. So I've got so many songs now that from the songs of when I was giving birth to Malachi, there was 10,000 reasons for my heart to go on. I sung that song, and so it's like a remembrance of that God was faithful through those times. So I just want to encourage you that there is a song out there for you and written on your heart that God will get you through whatever you're going through now, and just have faith that he will provide for you. And sometimes it looks different to what you expected it to look. I know that's been that for us, and sometimes it comes at the most unexpected time that you think that, why now, Lord? But he has it in control. He's in control, and that's a big thing for me. It was just letting go of trying to control things and knowing that he is faithful to the end. He can take those burdens from you and turn it into something beautiful. So I hope that's a good encouragement for you guys today. Take care, bless you guys, and I can't wait to see you soon.